Hi, this is Ben with B4 Treasures. My husband Ed and I sell vintage home decor on all the different reselling platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy, our own website, Instagram, TikTok even. And we want to talk to you about some of the things that have sold recently, as this week they have sold. And a lot of our favorite items or brands are going to come up. And I just want to talk to you about some of the thinking we had when we found the item and the price point we set it at and how it sold and where it went. So please follow along. And if you haven't already subscribed or liked our videos, please do, because this is just the beginning. You can be one of the first as we continue to create a community about how to learn, how to run your own business, how to use AI technology, how to find and source well. We want to look through all of it. So today in this video, you'll see some what sold, and at the end, I will put a video of us sourcing, the first video ever shown of us sourcing in a local Goodwill we have. So thanks so much for finding us, and let's see what sold on eBay. I should add, we are going to see what sold on eBay, but we have all kinds of sales from other platforms that we won't look at today, but we will look at future videos. How I cross list, how do we get items on one place put in literally 6 different locations with one click. So we'll get into that in another video. For now, let's look and see what sold on eBay. So to get started, we have this Swarovski. This just actually sold today at the time of making of this video. Swarovski is a brand I'm sure many of you have heard of. This Swarovski came with a box that actually was purchased from a sale we found on Facebook Marketplace, where somebody had several, like 40, and we got a pretty good price on them, and to the point of being about $5 a Swarovski. And not all of them had boxes, but we've been keeping an eye out for just boxes as well to combine them back together. And we see that we accepted an offer today of $65. Somebody sent in an offer. Now that is cheaper, $20 less. Why would we accept that? Well, we are big fans of best offer because we allow for the customer to do their own research, go see if they can price match somewhere else, and let us know. It says an offer. We'd rather hear from them what they feel like they can offer and what the market is, and we could always decline or counter offer. So you'll see that we've accepted 65 because this is a pretty small piece, just 2 inches tall, and it's the season of skiing in winter. We don't want to hold on to it for another year, so we let it go, and it is a great find. Now I would say after 65 minus the $5 we paid, $60 minus fees of it, with the ad fees we do, which we can talk about in other videos as well, I would say let's do about 30%. So that would be about $9 more. So I would say we made on this just a quick 65. We actually made about 35. And so for sure of cash, and that after all those expenses. And so we're happy to see that. And that's just real numbers, realistically, what can happen when you sell. The next item we have is a Royal Copenhagen, Denmark figurine with a girl holding here a little doll. These pieces you can spot by their unique colors of blue and beige. These also, of course, on the bottom will have markings. This one is actually an older one, and based on our research, we looked at them with the numbers, meaning all those things. But you will see the Royal Copenhagen design rather stand out on the shelf once you get used to it. Of course, pay attention to fakes and ones that are off, or not fakes, but maybe just off brands made in Japan or those kind of things, that they took the design done by Royal Copenhagen and made it somewhere else. It is amazing how difficult it is to design porcelain. If you wanted to watch some YouTube videos, I'd recommend on the creation of them. A lot of art and detail comes into just, what do we want to make? What do we want to make with this clay? Because it's a lot to think through, the artistry of all that. So we're excited to say this one sold for full price of $75 and actually was an international order. So that is actually out in the mail, and it is going to South Korea today. So this piece was ordered in South Korea, which actually opens up a whole other conversation of Royal Copenhagen is a European porcelain that is being bought in the United States and it was bought by us in the United States and is being delivered. Let me send that sentence over again. It is amazing how this is a European Denmark piece that was made in Denmark and now is in the United States, purchased by us and being sold to somebody in South Korea, which is in Asia. Asia is really starting to collect European porcelain home decor. We have seen that for the last few years. Wedgwood, extremely popular in Asia, Japan, China. And so we are very happy to make connections with more and more people in Asia and help be the bridge of pieces that are being appreciated more and more in those markets. Maybe as the States market for the different generations is changing, you can see how having a worldwide website like eBay allows us to find the buyer anywhere in the world. And that's what is exciting for us, to be a part of this reselling world and community and business. So we have one piece of European. Well, let's look at another one. This is Lladro from Spain, a country I used to live in, and I do love the design and art of the shepherd boy with a lamb, with a stocking hat. Just really sweet and neat color with some of the documentation there. This was accepted at best offer and is in the mail, and we're excited to say if you see a Lladro, look for this kind of logo icons on the bottom, because you will definitely find off brands or fake models, and they look really bad. Once you spot real Lladros, I recommend looking at real Lladros so that when you find them in the store, you're like, oh, that's obviously not even worth touching on the shelf. It's so fake. And you don't even have to lift it up. But when you do find one, we like to take pictures with the measurements right on the screen, while we also add the details down below on the item specifics, which are way down here right now, with all the different information that you can see, plus the description of the text. Those are all very important to add to the customer. It is going to either be searching for or sorting for. You have to have it in item to specifics, but people don't always look there. So putting it in the picture gives them a sense of scale. How big is this piece? And actually, it's true with porcelain. The bigger a piece is, the more valuable it is. So size will determine value when it comes to porcelain. Looking at the next piece is something maybe we're more familiar with here in America. It's Disney Winnie the Pooh. This is obviously actually made in China, or actually Thailand in this case. And it isn't something that is made in Europe, but it does. I want to show something that we would have found this piece for $4, $3.99 at a Goodwill, but it is still selling at best offer accepted at $25. So our rule is 10 times. If we're paying $5, it better sell for $50. What do we do here? Well, this was before we actually started this rule. This has been with us, I think, for at least a year. But it also is something that we want to flip 5 to 25, because we know we like ourselves to handle porcelain home decor. And the market's always changing, and Disney comes and goes too. So we got this one for $5 or $4, and now it's $25 after fees. We probably made $15. So definitely bread and butter. We can get through it, but not something we necessarily would do again as we continue to expand to that. We want $4 to become $40 expectation every time, and otherwise just leave it on the shelf. Next is a piece of why we're moving towards this model. We actually got this in Canada. It's something I would have passed by, but Ed is really good at spotting these incredibly valuable, unique pieces of pottery. Look at this vase. It has sold for $225 at $220, and it's 6 inches tall. It's not that big, but he noticed, and there's not even markings or anything. He was able to spot the design, the value of mid-century modern vase here, and found, using Google Images, eBay search with images, the model and design and where it's from. He is really skilled at that. And that's something actually he has invested his time and energy into learning. So he can spot on the shelf where something is going to just call out to him and trust his gut. You basically train your gut to spot value on a shelf of something. That shouldn't just be sitting there for $5. I think that's worth more. And that's what he did. And I'm really grateful we can create a business around the knowledge and skills he's learned and the tools and technology we have to make that possible. The next piece are something that a lot of people have seen before. These are KLM Airlines had these on first class passengers, had these Delft houses, and each house actually contained alcohol. These are empty, and you're actually not allowed to sell full ones, sealed ones on eBay. If you try, you might get a few through, but you might get blocked. So definitely be careful on selling things with alcohol, because that's not allowed on the eBay site. But they did contain alcohol. Then they became extremely collectible. And if you want to notice, let me see if my screen here, you'll notice on the back, it has numbers, 80, 53, 68. That is very important to understand the value. There's actually some that are rare, hundreds of dollars just for one, and these are 3 for 120. And the bottom also labels, if you see in the indentation of the pottery, 80 and then the 68 are in there. So know that these are collected. The 53 are sold and bought rather quickly. Whenever we find one, we just can grab it because we know it's valuable every single time it has sold for us. We don't have any in stock because they come in and out within a few days, usually after being listed. And that is something we just love to have in the back of our knowledge of when we see product like that we can just rely on to purchase and send back out again when we spot it in the wild. Next up, we have a Beswick piece of pottery that is from the Beswick Potter stories, where this is a mouse, the Hunkamunka mouse, and you can see the information's even on the bottom, so very clearly labeled. Didn't have to look anything up there. It's all put on a box on the piece. I think Lavender Clothesline YouTube channel, Karen, she always says if she was president, she would make sure everything was marked because of how often she has to look up things in the thrift store. And this is one of those pieces or cases that everything is marked. Everything you want to know about the piece is right on it, and that's always helpful, and it makes it a lot easier to research, list, and find. Sold for $35, the full price. They're nice pieces if you can find them, but often because they're so obvious, there's so much information on them in a thrift store or an antique mall or estate sale, they're listed too high to flip because they themselves were able to find that information online and put it at a half. Now that's hard for us when somebody lists something that's 35 for, let's say, 15, and they say, well, it's half the price of eBay. It was like, yeah, but I'm giving you $15 cash. And that sold for 35. There's lots of fees that can make that down easily to 25, if not $20. And I'm making $5? No. So that is where people don't understand the pricing of 35 is not really 35 for whoever the seller is. There's going to be a lot of fees after that. So our pricing when we're in a thrift store or an estate sale, if you want to leave room for the seller, make sure you leave substantial room, like 3/4 left. So if something is worth 35, list it at 10 at the most if you expect a reseller to buy it. And the two more here, this was a piece from Italy. We've looked at Spain, Denmark, Holland. Now we're looking at Italy, more European pieces. This is actually carved wood. And this is something that this brand here, ANRI, I'm saying that wrong probably, forgive me. And you can see that we take pictures with the size and everything. These pieces are pretty consistent sellers. There's often people or figurines playing music, but again, there's no markings, but we know the quality and listing of these pieces, and then you can take also a Google image search picture and find other similar pieces. This was a best offer, accepted it for less than 80, but it was something that, again, people miss because there's no markings, so it's on the shelf for a few dollars. And if we can flip that for $60, we're putting in 3 to 60. That's inside our goals of 10 times. And it's a great piece to just grab, 3 inches, easy to store, easy to ship. And the customer is happy, and we're happy to have them found it with us at our website and Before Treasures. The last one is very American, well-known, Jim Shore. This is a company that has produced hundreds of different resin designs that look like carved wood. And they're doing very well because they're so iconic. They're so popular because the colors are nice. I like the quilted design myself. And they often have clever stories on the pieces themselves. Little details of why is this character holding the star and the Santa around the world. There's a whole series that would go. And then you can see on his robe, there is this flower design which goes with that Santa in that place in the world. So this one was accepted at $35. Probably wanted just to save on some shipping, and it got off and mailed to them. And it perfect time of the season for this Jim Shore anything holiday related to be listed and to be sold. So that is a little bit about what has sold, this 10 items. And so now we're going to watch what we were sourcing. Ed and I are out for adventures, have those little conversations, and we're just getting started. So let us know what you think about this section. Hey everybody, this is Ben with Before Treasures. We are going to go thrifting right now at Goodwill. Thought we'd have you come along, and we hope you can spot some treasures with us. If you see anything, let me know. So we're going to go in this store that we like a lot. People know us. See what we can find. I always go to the first spot. I always go is directly to the games. If I can see anything over here, it'll stand out to me. I have so much history with games that I like to know. Spot things right away. So shift the games. This is a fun game for sure. You have to like describe and guess different characters with the things. That's good, but not more than probably $5. Beer IQ. Nothing today, but this is one of the things I like. They just do a clear price, $2.99. We have been able to find so many awesome games for $2.99. Let's go ahead and see what else we can do here. Oh, this is definitely Norwegian. Probably from a town that's near here that is a Norwegian town. That is one of the things that I love about being in this area. I'm actually have Norwegian heritage myself. I feel connected to the north and the cold winters, and that kind of feeling is totally fine with my soul. I can tell right here what this is. Party light. This is a party light candle company. Not much is usually worth picking up, but they can be an easy starter flip for $2. You could these for $4, maybe get 15 out of them, or maybe list them for $25 and actually make $15. You know, want to make sure after fees you're making your money back. So if you're looking to get started, these are a nice option to not risk too much and just kind of practice with things. Oh, look at this piece. He's huge. He's definitely copying a Lladro Holland mold. Maybe a Delft figurine too, but nice and large, but obviously just a copy. You can tell the eye quality, the details are not there, but it's always kind of fun to learn. And obviously when you flip something over, if you can't tell by the features, the whole cutting is not well done. It's not filled in. The porcelain is pretty thin actually, or like thick actually, which is lower quality. The details can't stand out with thick porcelain. You have speakers. This is a Ray-Ban teapot, large. Marshall sticker still there. It was $28 and down to $15, and now it's down to $6 here at Goodwill. So that's probably without looking it up, that's probably how we do. But let's go ahead and look it up together. We can show you how that works live here with the app. Ray-Ban. So it's going to automatically pull up 6,000 listings. We're seeing, I think this is a big teapot, so we got 26 here. We could do a teapot to be more specific. Now down to 99 listings. Obviously still not everything is accurate. $18 there. Let's look and see what we're looking at for solds. There's one called tea. There's a sold for 15. Here to the bottom, or we have 7 sold. So definitely a pass on this based on how quickly it sold. There's only 7 listings that have sold out of 99. That's like a 10% sell through. So it'll take, how do you say that? Out of every 100 sales, you might get 1 of them. So that's very low. That'll take a long time. Ed likes horses a lot. So that's how that all works. $12, $13 a chair, not bad. If you need a new chair, not new, but need a chair like that, pretty stylish. $15, very reasonable for a pet cage. This Goodwill does a pretty good job keeping things flipping through their store. We just sold a brand. There's a bag by this brand. Let's see what it is. $8 to $25 maybe. A little stain there. It can probably clean out. He likes to do those things. could show him. Maybe it's there because you already saw it. I wouldn't be surprised. They definitely have sold bags. Do you see anything in here? What is that? That is different for sure. My Ray bag. I'd have to look that up. The tag's nice, but I can tell when I touch it the quality is not very nice. Not probably worth even looking up right now, but I could be wrong. Do you see anything I'm missing? Lamps are awesome. That is a very interesting lamp. But I'll let that go too. I'll go show Ed this bag. Let's go see if we can find him. That big light there, that's $250. Very expensive. Where's Ed? This is like, where's Waldo? It's so funny how we're both in this store and I can see everything, but I can't see him. Oh, he's got a whole big blue bin. What'd you find, Ed?
Pottery barn.
A pottery barn. That's amazing. Good job.
Yeah.
That's amazing. How do you know it's pottery? Oh, made for pottery barn.
Yeah.
2007.
This is Fiesta ware, salt and pepper.
Oh yeah.
And this is an antique.
I like it. Good job.
What do you think?
Wait, you like this brand?
Okay, yeah.
But do you think this is a good one?
Consistently sell for
It's $8.
45.
You want to do that? You want to mess with this?
No, not it.
I thought you wanted.
They're gonna be putting all these on.
Well, I'm sure you have the right to look through it.
I don't
But
think so.
see, that's why it's there. Kurt Adler?
Oh, this is sad. This is good. It's a beautiful piece.
What about this? Kurt Adler?
What is that?
I don't know. It's really big. Oh, it's a big guy right here. A little bit of dig and save today. You don't mind if we go through, or you're thank you. It does not look like it is Rome Incorporated. This is an angel by Rome. If you want to look things up.
Bueno, eso es bueno. Eso no lo encuentro. Es con match holders.
Oh yeah, for by the fireplace.
Yeah.
You just grab a match.
It's an antique.
Wilton, let's do it. That's a good. Is that Mickey? No.
Minnie.
But is that Mickey? No, that's Santa. They don't go together. Oh, that's so mean. These are fake candies. No, it's funny, like if you were at a house to get them out. Sometimes it's nice to help them put out their things.
Oh no.
I know, you can tell right away it's not our thing.
It's not a
Very fun to see them putting out everything all at once at this kind of Goodwill. It's relaxed, easygoing. See, we like to pull things out and put them away. Anything down there at the bottom we missed? Thanks for joining us on this adventure ride with us through this Goodwill. 100 here, more. Remember, people before treasures. Be kind to those you come across. Do things like talk to the workers, thank them for what they do, because it really makes a difference. We'll be back soon. Thanks for following along. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching, and always remember, after everything, people before treasures.